see. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. You're tuned into Cumberland's Best Variety, Magic 100.5. I'm Amanda Mangan here with you, and I have a very special guest in the studio with me today. That is Maryland's Comptroller, Peter Franchot. How are you?
I'm terrific, Amanda. It's great to be in Cumberland, and I'm glad to see the radio station's doing well. I love radio because people listen to it. And, you know, TV, they kind of walk in and out, but radio is a very effective way to talk to people, and boy, there are a lot of things going on in the economy right now.
And you got a busy day ahead of you, right?
Yes, I'm on an economic listening tour. I want to get out and talk to businesses all around the state. I'm going to visit every jurisdiction. I'm going over to the coal plant at Warrior Run right after this, and then I'll be headed out to McHenry to meet with the Garrett County Chamber of Commerce and back to Hagerstown. And the main purpose is just to hear from people that are in the trenches. And you know, they're not up on Wall Street. They read about the economy getting better, but a lot of times it hasn't arrived locally. So I want to hear from people about jobs and credit and what exactly they're finding as far as the economy, and do a lot of listening.
What have you heard so far?
Well, the economy is showing some signs of recovery, but as everybody realizes who's in small business, for example, we got a long way to go. And we had the biggest economic turndown since the 1930s and the Great Depression. And it's going to take us several years to dig out from that. It's not to say we're still in a free fall. We're not. We're kind of bottoming out right now, but boy, we'd have to grow at a 14% rate for the next 5 years just to get back to where we were. And obviously we're not going to grow at anything more than 2 to 3%. But the state's tough. Maryland's a very resilient state. I know coal is a big issue out here in the western part of the state. It's kind of a non-issue in the rest of the state because nobody really knows about it. So it's important for me to come out and go over to Warrior Run and understand how important coal is, what's being done to burn it with fewer emissions, what's being done about safety in mines after the West Virginia incident, and just kind of get a little better read on that, and then head out to Garrett County, and we're going to hear from some of the local business people there.
Now, just wrapped up tax season, right?
Correct.
And we talked a little bit right before the tax deadline about folks writing in personal notes for their extension, and it's been a really tough time for Marylanders, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, I always kind of shake my head a little bit when all the pundits say that, you know, we've turned the corner and recovery is on us, because this tax season we processed almost 3 million tax returns, Amanda, and we did it very well. We had turnaround refunds going back within 72 hours to several million Marylanders. So we're proud of that. But what I noticed was the fact that there were a lot of handwritten personal notes to me in the tax returns, which in years gone by we've never really gotten. But they were notes saying, in effect, Mr. Comptroller, I've always paid my taxes on time. This year I can't pay my taxes. I don't have any money. I don't have a job. I've lost my home. And that really tore at me, and I think it gives you a little sense of the economic distress that's going on out there.
Amanda, Lauren Gottlieb is on line 1. Amanda, line 1.
Sorry.
Boy, that's great. Hope that goes out on the show too. But you know, we've had a great tax season, and as far as my agency goes, which, knock on wood, means that we processed a lot of returns, and we got over $2 billion in refunds back to people, and we tried to do it efficiently. But it certainly gives us a window in to the economic fear which is prevalent among Marylanders.
So once you get all this feedback, because you're trying to go to all 24 counties within the month, right?
Correct.
So what then, once you get the feedback?
Well, it helps me run my agency better, number one, because people, you know, they want to say nice things to you, but often someone will pull me aside and say, you know, your tax form is really confusing. You know, I look in paragraph 11 for the instructions, and then I go over to the tax form, and item 11 doesn't match up with the instructions number 11. So you need to change that. Well, I like to hear that, in the sense that we can't get better if people don't complain and tell us how to improve. So that's point number one. Point number two, we simply have to get our fiscal house in order in Maryland. We're way out of whack as far as the budget. We're spending much more than we're taking in tax revenues. We need to do a comprehensive reform of state spending. And I hope that what I learned out here on this listening tour will help buttress that. And then finally, I'm a big supporter of financial literacy. I think all of our kids should have that as a graduation requirement for high school. Allegheny County, for example, requires a standalone financial literacy course for its high school graduates. Good for Allegheny County. And the rest of the state should have that because, you know, the basics, what a budget is, what credit is, what debt is, how to avoid predatory loans. That's important, I think. So I hope to build up a little support for that initiative.
And then after this tour, right, you start to get into the county fairs and giving money back during the county fairs.
This
right?
is a great program. I get not only to collect taxes, and on the Board of Public Works, I get to vote on contracts with the governor, but I also oversee unclaimed property. And we're currently holding $900 million for over 800,000 Marylanders. And people should go to the MarylandTaxes.com website, and they should plug in their name or a neighbor's friend or relative or someone in their town. And chances are we're holding some money for them that they don't know. So I hope that's something that we go around to the state fairs with our computers, and we allow people to look and see whether we're holding money for them. We don't say how much it is because we want to be able to make sure we match it with the right person. But that's a lot of money. We returned, I think last year, almost $60 million to Marylanders. A lot of it's tax-free because it's just bank accounts that have been misplaced, and therefore there are taxes on it. And I tell people, you don't even have to buy a ticket like the lottery. But I guarantee you have a better chance of getting unclaimed property off my list than you have of winning the state lottery.
And those are pretty good odds, right?
Well, they're a lot better. Well, first of all, the odds for the lottery, as you know, are very low. But people spend a lot of money on the lottery, and they think they're going to win, and that's fine. Don't want to disappoint them. But yeah, chances are somebody you know is on my unclaimed property list, and it can be a significant amount of money. Last year, I returned $250,000 to a couple.
Wow.
Think of that. Gee, if it's only $100 in this economy, that's pretty good too.
Oh, definitely. Who couldn't use a little extra cash,
So
right?
go to MarylandTaxes.com and you just click on the icon for unclaimed property, and you can literally put anybody's name in there. And if they're, related to you or a friend of yours, let them know that they are on that list, and we will quickly process. Once we confirm it's them, we'll quickly process the transfer of money.
All right, great. Anything else you want to get out there for our listeners?
No, except I really like being out here in Western Maryland because, small businesses are the backbone of the state's economy. And we talk a lot about government stimulus spending and government programs to get the money, to get the economy into recovery. We don't have a snowball's chance in heck of moving forward until the private sector, particularly small business, gets back on its feet, starts hiring, starts selling, and starts their entrepreneurial genius. So I'm delighted to be meeting primarily with the private sector and assessing how they're doing getting back into a recovery mode because that's frankly the future of the state's economy.
All right, great. Anything else?
That's it. Thank you,
All right.
Nana.
Thanks so much for your time.
Yeah, that was good.